Sales dropped like 70% like overnight. Like literally woke up one day and it was like off a cliff. We were just like, man, is the sport going to survive this? Are we going to survive this?
Even before pickleball was cool, we went all in.
We wanted to define what performance paddles were.
Selkirk's taking the pickleball world by storm.
It really was a family business and a family passion.
I think pickleball is going to be the largest racket sport in the world. It's just a matter of when.
We are Selkirk. We are pickleball.
We didn't want Selkirk just to be a brand that just did the same status quo. We wanted to come in and be game changers.
I don't think we ever had a time where we were like, give up. It was never, I mean, there were some scary times that were kind of like, man, I wonder how this is going to work. COVID was probably the scariest.
Right. I mean, when you're a business owner, like your entire life is caught up in it. So giving up isn't really an option. If the business fails, then you basically have to start over from scratch. I mean, early on in the pandemic, it was pretty scary because the entire world shut down.
But sales dropped like 70% like overnight. Like literally woke up one day and it was like off a cliff. And so that it was like that for a good month or two. We were just like, man, is the sport going to survive this? Are we going to survive this?
So we kind of went back to doing everything during that time.
Yeah, I was shipping, helping grip paddles. My dad was building all the paddles. Well, one thing that was a huge blessing at the time, we had actually overbuilt before COVID hit. So we had like a ton of inventory pre-built. Dad was just building stuff that filled holes. Our wives came and helped a lot too, so they would come and help build. Mike was doing a lot of the customer service and having to deal with a lot of day-to-day stuff. So it was pretty bizarre. Like we were listening to podcasts and it was empty when we had 30 people.
Thankfully, we were able to find some creative ways to make sure our employees were paid and were still able to work a few hours. That was probably the most difficult time our company's ever been through. But thankfully, we came out stronger for it and pickleball exploded. What we also saw during that time was nets sold out across the industry because they wanted to, play something with their family in their backyard or in their driveway.
At the end of the day, that's what pickleball is. It's to have fun and enjoy and be healthy and active and social.
So nets sold out and we saw this flood of beginners come into the sport. I remember the first time we told a friend that we were in pickleball, and they're like, oh, that's the sport that all the young people are playing on Instagram. And I just thought that was interesting because it's like, it's the first time I've heard someone characterize pickleball that way. And then it started becoming more of a social media sport, and you started seeing a lot of influencers getting in it, to a lot of celebrities, and it just took off. It took a while for it to become successful and keep growing, but we knew the sport that had passionate people and people that really were the evangelists for the sport. So if you play pickleball, you were always talking about pickleball, you were sharing with others, you're trying to convince others to get into the sport. It was a really neat cultural element. What we're seeing now is tons of people are coming into pickleball because it's opportunistic, especially in 2020 when it blew up, when money was cheap. We saw tons of brands coming in with investors.
But even as more and more competitors came into the game, we always stuck to our roots and kept pushing the sport forward through innovation.
How would you describe Selkirk's R&D process?
Obsessive. Yeah, obsessive.
We always want to make it better, faster, more consistent. The goal is to create the ultimate pickleball paddle. We asked ourselves, what would it take to make the craziest and most innovative paddles in the pickleball world? And Labs was the answer.
Labs is an independent R&D division of Selkirk that focuses on creating new pickleball technology without limitation. So Selkirk LABS started in 2022 February. At the time, the motivation was to build an engine that we could experiment with new product ideas and technologies in small batches, get them out quickly and efficiently to a core group of people that could then test and give us feedback early to help basically inform our R&D in making mass market products and now even expanding labs and moving quicker to basically make more cutting edge products. The problem was as we got bigger, right? We're still a small company, but as you get bigger, your product lead times start expanding because you just got to think of wholesale, you know, the media team, marketing, and just make sure there's time planned in, and also testing the product to make sure you don't have issues. And then you get that product through all your channels, you know, efficiently. And so what that does, even though we try to be pretty efficient, you lengthen your lead times overall to get product to market once you have an innovation, right?
We get so much feedback these days because we are, you know, so much more product than we used to, that it's impossible to hand jam, it's impossible to go through it by hand. So we do use our own LLM, our own large language model, which is kind of a form of AI to look through that feedback. And at the very, very highest level, it looks at like temperature, like what is the theme, what do people feel about it, what are the keywords, what are the common themes here? And then from there, we can actually drill down in that data to a very like deep level to find things that we would normally miss or gloss over. What we think it would be in labs and what we think that would translate to a mainline product, by the time we actually get there and get through the labs feedback stage, we always end up making lots of tweaks. That helps us, you know, go from idea to a main launch with labs in the middle, with a labs launch in the middle. It makes that final product much better.
And since we've launched labs, we've actually had hardly any issues mass market because we tested a lot of product early on. Any issues we did have, we resolved and actually improved the product from feedback. The Lux is actually a great example. That started out as a 003. We're able to get it to market super quick. We got feedback that people want a little bit more power but love the control. And we took that feedback, implemented it in Lux, and made a better product at the end of the day. And also kind of look at it as there's a group of people that want to be a part of that story and give their feedback and be a part of that journey. No one had done anything like that we had known of in sporting goods. People thought we were crazy, and it's been one of the most successful things from a product standpoint, we've done, and it's practically played out in allowing us to make better product.
In 2022 going into 2023, pickleball was just at a really fun stage. But going into 2023, 2024, we started to see this new generation of product come out. We started facing a lot of pressure from this new kind of technology that, in our opinion, wasn't best for the sport, wasn't best for the players.